What's up? Yeah, this is the new hi-fi playlist. I got some lunch. Little shrimp fajita bowl. Some tortillas. I forget. How do you say shrimp in Spanish? Camarón. Camarones y pimientos con tortillas y queso. Healthy. Oh, and I forgot my water. One sec. Well, first of all, I don't really particularly want to listen to this anymore. I just want to play some rock stuff. I want to listen to rock because today's a day. That's better. You guys are going to have lunch with me, I hope. Hope you don't mind. And we're going to do something fun today. I thought we would go back and revisit some of the stuff that some of the accomplishments, some of the milestones. We're going to talk about Insight a little bit this week, how that went over, things we could improve, how the Discord went, all that stuff. I got to get all my work stuff shut down. Okay. So first and foremost, happy Insight, everybody. How'd you enjoy the show? That's the big thing. Bit of a new format this year. We're trying to build something new, and it's something that's been in the process for in excess of a year. I don't know any other way to say that, but things that I can say. What can I say? There has been an effort to get a 24/7 content channel? Station? Going inside of NetApp for in excess of a year. And a lot of that was what drove me back earlier this year, as far back as like November, December of last year, to really focus in on YouTube and start making the videos that I've made throughout the year. So it was inspirational, in a way, if you think about it that way. It motivated me to kind of get my own stuff in gear, because a lot of the stuff that I wanted to do was sitting around waiting for them to get their ish together, and it didn't look like it was going to. So I said, you know what, in the meantime, I'll just put it on YouTube. And that's how we got the Data Center Dude videos throughout 2021. So it's been in process. I can't tell you guys how long. The new NetAppTV. NetApp.tv? I think it's NetApp.tv. Yeah, Richard. That was a fun little nugget. Here's the backstory on that 3-minute segment that you saw. One of the heads of the event approached me and were like, hey, we've got Anthony and Ronan doing this fun little sitcom talk show kind of segment. Do you want to do a demo for it? For one of the mega sessions? And this was like in August. Something like that. And I hadn't seen any progress on it. So I was like, yeah, sure. Fine. Just passively. Yeah, when you're ready, let me know. And then the house happened. And then the passport thing happened. And then Turks happened. And then the trip to Vegas and all the stuff in September that you guys know about. And I looked up when we got to October. I was like, well, I guess that isn't happening because I don't know. I hadn't heard anything else. And then when was that? A couple of weeks ago. He reached out and he said, hey, here's the shot for the Anthony and Ronan show. You're going to be in at like right here. Like, okay. Give me the weekend. I'll have it to you by Monday. He said, okay. Sooner the better, but because the agency's saying that if they don't have time, they're going to have to do the subtitles and all that stuff. It needs to be in by the end of the week if possible. I said, it's Thursday, and you're telling me that it's due today for the first time. Okay. Let me see what I can put together. So we get to Friday, and I said, give me the weekend. At worst, I'll have it to you by Monday morning. So I thought I would have like Friday, Saturday, and even Sunday if I needed it to get it in. But if I had Friday and Saturday, I could pull it off. So we get to the end of the day on Friday. Esther is leaving town on Friday to go see a girlfriend for the weekend. So I'm by myself with the dogs. And they don't go to bed till 10 o'clock. Like, go in their crates. So I'm dad sitting, basically, the kids. Then I start getting multiple texts, multiple phone calls. This is going to get yanked. We need to have it. It must be in by tonight. Yada, yada, yada. Or we're killing it. Okay. So off I go. I sit down and write for about an hour. Grabbed I knew I was going to be doing it, so I had grabbed a couple of white aprons off Amazon. Here's the other one, the spare one. I forgot it was down here. Got a shitty $5 cheapest bottle of wine I could find. Splashed it all over the apron, which didn't really come out on camera because it was dark. But the concept that I came up with was Anthony and Ronan are up top in the casks, but they needed to send it down to me to do a demo. So, how does it get made? Oh, okay, we need to be in the cellar, or we need to be in the manufacturing place. So I thought, okay, I can be overseeing a team of people making the wine in the data cellar. And thus it was born. And so I quickly threw together some demo footage, chopped it all up in DaVinci Resolve, and I think by about 1 a.m. I sent it over. So in about 3 hours, the shooting itself took 20 minutes to do. I think I did 2 takes. I fumbled. I said one word with the wrong intonation, and I just wanted to redo it. And then on the fly, I thought about the yelling off screen as a transition. And then, oh, hi, Anthony must have sent you down for the tour. It was all very improv, all very last minute, all very kind of thrown together. But I think it turned out great. I was very proud to send it in. I even caught myself laughing a couple of times at the shitty puns and references and just me yelling off screen, off camera at people. Thought about putting some music over it, but I wasn't sure if they were going to be having music over their segment that would just tie into mine. I wanted to put some kind of like, almost like manufacturing noises just happening, ambient happening in the background. Is what it is. But no, it was a lot of fun. Great job on your flowchart video too. Don't think I didn't notice you put the FSX stuff first out of the 3. That was not intentional. When I was drawing it out, I spent about 30 minutes drawing all that out on the Surface TV. It was the way that I did it, got redrawn probably 5 times. Because I kept trying to find a way. How can I highlight on-prem stuff? How can I make sure that people know that it's okay? Because I don't want this to be a FOMO thing. I don't want people to go to cloud not understanding how to operate in the cloud and get shocked, sticker shocked. I want people to be prepared and to know, but also be okay with like, this isn't for me yet. It took people 5 years to get on board. Some of them 5 years to get on board with virtualization. It's going to take a long time for this cloud stuff to come around for customers. There's going to be a moment. You know, early adopters started doing this 5-6 years ago. It's going to take, for me, another 3 to 5 years for this to be adopted as the way of the world going forward. In my opinion. Not speaking for NetApp. In my opinion, I think we got to recertify everybody. We got to retrain everybody. We've got to turn over staff. We've got to refresh gear or move on from refreshing and alternatively move that into the cloud. Those are massive data sets. They don't move quickly. They don't move easily. We've done about as good a job as you can do. Some of the tools that we have out there to move giant data sets that are being used today, XCP, Cloud Sync, SnapMirror, some of the new stuff that I know that's coming. Like some of the prototype stuff we've been working on. So we've figured out how to move data. We've pretty much cracked the code on how to move data that doesn't require a physical copy of it being moved from point A to point B. I couldn't yell at Whitney to get out of the casks because Anthony was throwing it to me and I was just saying, I got to get out of here. But yes, had I known that I hadn't seen the whole thing put together. So had I known that Whitney was going to be as interspersed as she ended up being, I could have said, Whitney, get out of the cask. Yeah, I totally could have. I could have done that. Guys, I gotta go. Whitney's in the wine. Everybody enjoy Insight. That would have been funny. I'm glad you guys liked it. Last couple bites here, then we can have some fun. Nope, that's not what I want. What can I see here? I'm still not seeing data from October 20th. We might have to wait another week. Yeah. I'm trying to see if there's analytics available for Discord for Wednesday, but it doesn't look like they're available yet. Oh, what about daily? There we go. Okay. Yeah. Still doesn't look like it's there yet. Might still be processing it. So, I guess I can turn that thing off. The rotator. There we go. So today is the day that I've been looking forward to for months now. The day when all things get shut down. So here's how things are going to go down. And for those of you that happen to be in Netflix, starting probably tomorrow or maybe Sunday, that's going to be offline until we get moved and back online. Just a heads up. So here's how things are going to go. Today's the 22nd. The Packers arrive on the 27th. No, Aaron Rodgers isn't coming. The Packers arrive early morning on the 27th. So I've got Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday to get all of this and other various parts of the house torn down and ready to be packed up by the Packers. Because on the 28th, and they will leave here on the 27th with our house fully boxed up, fully packed up. On the 28th, the 18-wheeler shows up, gets loaded up, and they take all the boxes and all our furniture and load it onto the truck, and they drive off. Allegedly off to Vegas. About 6 days, from what I understand. So, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. They are estimated to get there between the 3rd and the 8th. So originally we were going to be moved. We were going to take our time. We were going to take 6 days. We were going to leave on the 30th. We were going to go down through Atlanta, New Orleans, Houston, San Antonio, El Paso, Phoenix, into Vegas. 6 days. I think 7 days, 6 nights. The problem is the truck's got a 2-day, 3-day head start on us. And they could potentially get there on the 3rd, whereas we weren't potentially going to get there until the 6th on that route. We were going to take a week. So it changed the plans. We're just going to go across 40. I'm going to drive my ass off to get us there by the evening of the 2nd. so that if they show up on the 3rd, which they very well could do, we're ready to be there. We're ready to receive them, receive our stuff. Otherwise, we got an air mattress, we got heating and air, we got internet. We're across the street from we've got showers and water and microwaves and all that stuff. Like, we got an air mattress. So, ideally, we arrive the evening of the 2nd. Truck shows up on the 3rd. I think they'll show up between the 3rd and the 5th. If it takes all the way to the 8th, something happened. So if they show up on the 3rd or the 4th, we get all of our stuff. I can probably be back online. Like, certain things will be back online, hopefully by Friday the 5th. That's my hope. I don't want to be down for 2 weeks. Like, all this needs to just happen in a week. We're paying a small fortune to get this all done and very quickly. But worst case scenario, I should be back up and running by the 5th. 8th at the latest. If something goes wrong, I'll keep you guys updated in Discord. But my hope is that by November 8th, what is that, 10 days from today, I'm back online. Yeah. No, that's more than 10 days. That's like 2 weeks from Monday. Okay. So either way, those of you that are in NickFlex, have access to that. It's going to be down for a couple of weeks while we get moved. Streams will obviously not be happening unless I can come up with something clever to do in the car. I'm just going to be in the car for 8 to 12 hours a day for the next 4 days, starting on the 30th. Maybe we could do something fun. No streams, no videos next week. I've got a video prepped. If I can get the recording done this afternoon, I've got a video prepped that's probably going to go out on the 5th. Maybe the week of the 1st. If I can get it edited, uploaded, scheduled, thumbnailed, all the stuff, so that it can just go out then. I'm tackling Azure NetApp Files next. So, series of videos talking about the big October announcements of ungated GA, standard networking public preview, and VMware data stores with Azure NetApp Files going into public preview as part of AVS. So, lots of stuff coming. If you want more information on that, it's out there on the Microsoft Azure Docs sites. But that's what I'm going to be covering. Then we're going to be doing demos. We're going to be doing all kinds of stuff. So, video series, probably 3 videos for Azure NetApp Files coming over the course of the next month. And I'm getting into a rhythm where I'm just going to start cranking one of these out a week. We got to blow this stuff up, man. We got to go. Got to go. And then hopefully, as part of the new year, calendar year 22, where am I at? Somebody said a tweet the other day that really hit home with me. We're 2 months away from 2022, and I haven't even processed everything that happened in 2020 yet. How is it the end of 2021, guys? We're a month from Thanksgiving, and then a month from Christmas and New Year's. Like, how did we get here? Where did 2021 go? Gone. And it kind of gave me one of those moments where I was just like, man, I need to be making better use of my time. So lots of things in motion right now. Actually, while I'm at it, Sorry, guys. 1 second. Work thing. Okay. We've been locked down for so long, the whole year is blasted by us. You wished an entire year the other way. Your K95 Platinum XT died. Damn, I'm like 2 months out of warranty. Yeah. I've got a K95 that the spacebar doesn't work on. A K95 Platinum. And I bought it in 2019, and it was beyond the 1 year, and they were like, sorry. And I went, it's a $200 keyboard. Are you sure? I've dropped about $3,000 with you guys in the past 18 months. Are you sure? Yeah, sorry, nothing we can do about it. Okay. Okay. They sent you a new one? Yeah, I bought mine in 2019 and it was beyond the 1 year. I think it was August of 2019 when I bought it. So it broke last summer and I was just, it's my fault, guys. I want to own that. I didn't reach out to them until like January or February earlier this year. So I own it. It's my fault for not reaching out as soon as it happened. It is what it is. And I explained that to him. I owned up to it. I said, guys, this all happened last summer. It's been stuck in a closet, and I just haven't done anything about it. And I realized how much I missed that keyboard. It's a magnificent keyboard. The Corsair K95 Platinum, I think is what it is. It's got the volume scroll wheel. It's got controls. It's got a beautiful full number pad. It's got the programmable controls on the right that can integrate with the Stream Deck. Beautiful. Beautiful. It's a magnificent keyboard, and the mechanical keys are wonderful if you don't mind the noise. The feel of it is some of the best I've ever used. Yeah. They told me it was a 1 year manufacturer warranty. And of course, when I got it off Amazon, I didn't do the 2 year, 3 year thing for $30 or whatever it was. I never do. It's a roll of the dice that I'm comfortable with. It's never bitten me before. That's the only time. So it is what it is. So yeah, tomorrow begins the madness of the teardown and the move. So when do I officially get on the road to Vegas? October 30th, a week from tomorrow. So I've got 4 days starting tomorrow to prep the house, basically. Let me explain what that means. So when you have packers come in, you can't pack anything yourself, or it won't be covered in their liability insurance. So being that this is my 4th time doing this in 10 years, it's become old hat where you basically, they come in, let them go through all your cabinets, and like the studio stuff here, what I'll do is I'll tear down, I'll put the monitors back in their boxes, I'll put my PC back in its Antec box, and I'll put Mega PC back in its Corsair 1000D box. This is why I keep all my boxes, right? At least for the stuff that I'm still using. The SM7B will go back into the SM7B box with all of its styrofoam and everything, right? So all of that's going to go back into their packaging. That's what's going to take the bulk of the time. Once I get all the little stuff put back into their boxes, they go into organized piles for the packers to repack or to pack into larger boxes. Some of them are going to go into large wheelie totes, like all the little stuff, like my microphone box, Little peripherals and stuff like that are just going to go into the big heavy-duty wheelie totes that they're just going to throw the totes onto the truck. Like, no need to rebox all of that stuff. Again. So that all happens over the... So Esther has basically gone through her closet and our closets already. We've got most of the house torn down and prepped already. Our bed, our Sleep Number bed got disassembled by Sleep Number. I just want to get rid of that thing. More trouble than it's worth. Don't ever buy a Sleep Number bed. Don't ever buy a Sleep Number bed. Don't ever buy a Sleep Number bed. Please. Horrible customer service. The warranty is shady as F. Don't ever buy a Sleep Number bed. I wonder if I messed up. Did I mess up on the latency setting? No, it's on low latency. Okay. You've got 5 Sleep Number beds. Jesus. I'm mostly bitter that we got sort of suckered in to the whole 100 nights free, if you don't like it, return it thing. And it turns out that that doesn't include the $3,000 base. You gotta just eat it. I wish I could show you guys how one of the magnets on the bottom of the bed has ripped off, on the mattress has ripped off out of the felt material already. How the material on the base is coming apart already. And we spent, I don't know, $6-7 grand on the bed. They're gonna fix it. But if you look at, I mean, just the quality control, it doesn't seem like it should be worth that much, is what I'm getting at. I've had some really nice beds in my life. None of them ever cost that much money. To explain this, I want you to imagine a field cot. Like a twin-size bed field cot that has an air pump or a mechanism that raises the head of it. And then I want you to put 2 of those side by side and then sit a mattress on top of it so that when those field cot heads adjust, it moves the mattress. What is effectively an air mattress with a topper on it, zipped up. That's a Sleep Number. Like I could have built one. So anyway, I will say this. Let's finish with a good thing. The sheets are amazing. The sheets are some of the softest we've ever slept on. We got the really nice Sempe or whatever the hell sheets they are. They have 3 different lines of sheets. We got the really high-end ones, and they're nice. They're really nice. I'll say this too. The bedding, as far as the sheet sets and the temperature control quilts, I sweat at night. I'm a big dude. I run hot. And on traditional mattresses, I would wake up sometimes in the middle of the night and the whole bed would be wet under me. Not because I peed the bed, but because I sweat. And since we've gotten the Sleep Number, and it wasn't the mattress, it was the quilt that we ended up using that allows heat to dissipate instead of like a down comforter with a duvet. So changing that blanket out, so not only it's temperature controlled, whatever that means, whatever it does. It breaks laws of thermodynamics. I've never experienced something. I haven't sweated wet the bed since we've had it. Since we changed that comforter. So what we're doing is we had the Sleep Number disassembled. That's going to go in the guest room for when the parents come because they're obsessed with their Sleep Number bed. And we're going to go back to the really, really, really nice mattress that we had prior to the Sleep Number. That's effectively brand new. Maybe a year old, if that. And I've already put all that back together so that we can sleep on it for the next week, waiting for the movers to get here. And we used the same comforter and slept in it last night. Brilliant. No sweating. Slept like a log. Now, Esther doesn't like it so much because it's a firmer mattress. I love a firm mattress. I think my Sleep Number is like... Is it up to 80 now? I think I do an 80. I'm the guy that can go out and sleep on the floor comfortably without a bed. That's me. I can sleep anywhere. Put me on an air mattress, put me on a Sleep Number, put me on a bare floor with a blanket to pull over me. I can go to sleep anywhere, or in a recliner, right? Temperature control mattress pad is why you love it. Yeah, Jason, we talked about that too. Jason, I remember you talking about getting those beds, the information from the hotels. I mean, I can't imagine how much those cost. Like, what does the Ritz-Carlton use? So who knows? We're not prioritizing changing anything out right now. We're in the house. What's been going on the last couple of weeks? The whole house has been painted. You guys have seen that. I think you've seen the videos. It looks amazing. It's a completely different house. The thing that's going on this week, or has been going on this week, is we're changing the countertops in the kitchen because they're very dated. They're very 2000s. They're 20 years old, right? So we're taking the island from a 2-level. We're leveling it, so they got to do some demo to take the stuff down. And they're leveling it into one large island, which required 2 slabs of quartz to be able to shape it into one large island with no seams. And I can't wait. It's going to be a white with some cream speckle stuff in it. It's going to match the tiles perfectly. It's going to go great with that white paint job that we got. We're really proud of it. So the paint job and the countertops, I'm getting a little bit of electrical work done this week. That's already been bought and paid for because reasons I cannot fully disclose yet, nor do I want to. I want it to be a surprise. Those of you in supporters chat have seen it and don't spoil it for everybody else. Sorry, I went a little Alan Rickman there on you. Damn it, Richard. It's always somebody. I'm trying to be dramatic and theatrical here. Did I get the home run box issue straightened out? What's the home run box? Oh, we're going to hold off on it. Kind of. Yes, but no, but yes. here's the deal with the Ethernet wiring in the house. It's Ethernet. It's confirmed Cat 5e all throughout the house. However, it's punched down for 4-pin phone lines. At worst, I'll have to snip and re-punch down 8-pin Ethernet jacks, RJ45. The big question becomes, where does it all terminate? We've yet to find it. Apparently, it does terminate in that master bathroom closet. I didn't see it when I was in there for 10 minutes and took the panel off. So part of the Ethernet problem is getting to the house first so I can actually spend some time investigating what's going on. We talked about replacing, like ripping out the Cat 5e and replacing it with Cat 6, just tying it off and pulling it through and terminating everything upstairs. That's going to require some drywall to get cut to be able to do that, because we have to put bigger conduit, because you can only put maybe 2, maybe 3 runs in one of those 3/4 inch or 1 inch corrugated conduits. So that's more of a, we got to rip drywall off the walls kind of thing that we'll do in a couple of years down the road. For now, Cat 5e is fine. I'm not going to be doing anything over the local LAN of the house that's going to require 10 gig. So all of it's going to be self-contained, sort of up in the studio. So as long as I've got the main, which is, it's going to have to be a cable modem for now. Ugh, we'll talk about that in a minute. It's going to be a cable modem for now, so I'll be able to have that upstairs. And everything, I can run one trunk line from a switch that's down in the master bathroom closet and just run that up through the attic and pull it over to the 3rd floor somehow so that it connects up to what's in the studio. I'll have to figure all that stuff out. Drew, we just painted the entire house. I'm not cutting open giant chunks of the drywall. That's a good point. I'm just not going to have the keystones. It's not a huge priority right now. As long as I can get the Eros up and running so that we've got Wi-Fi in the house, that's really it. And they connect to it. They mesh together over Wi-Fi. It's not going to be ideal. It's not going to be great. It's going to take some time just to get everything assessed and come up with a strategy and a plan. It's not what I want. There is a solution out there that goes over the coax, existing coax that's in your house, that can provide gigabit Ethernet. I've seen that you got to have like little, they're about the size of a phone. You got to have little boxes. It goes back to like token ring and stuff like that. You got to have repeaters on the end of each run, stuff like that. But it'll allow you to use the existing coax copper runs already there in every room of the house for gigabit Ethernet. Thought about that. Considered that. Again, it's not in an ideal situation. I don't really know what I'm working with quite yet. It's just what I've been told. So when I get there and figure out, okay, to get everything up and running, I need to get the Eros up, and I need to get a small switch, like a 16-port Netgear maybe, into that master bathroom closet, and then trunk it up to the rack switches that are going to be in the studio so that I can kind of control everything and get everything else that's already wired. Then it's a matter of replacing all the keystones in the wall plates. That's kind of the tentative plan. That's the tentative plan. I did see, so the provider that I would, hang on. The provider that I would have to go with for fiber would end up being CenturyLink. And I did have a conversation with a rep 3 days ago, Tuesday, that said within the next year. Maybe. Symmetrical fiber. The ducting is there. The infrastructure is there. They just have to deploy the stuff from to the streets and to the houses. If they get everything running the streets, it's just a matter of burying a cable to the house. But for now, we're gonna have to go with Cox for cable. We can get the gigabit down, but it's only 35 megabit upstream. Max. That's gonna suck for the Netflix users, potentially. Not really. It's only when like 5 or 6 of you get on at the same time. Normally it's just 1, maybe 2 people watching something. 3 every now and then. When we get a big burst of like 5 to 8 people that are watching something, I don't know that the 35 upload will be able to handle that. Certainly not while I'm streaming 10 meg of that to YouTube. So I have to figure out some processes again. We'll stress test it all. We'll figure out where the limitations are, all that kind of good stuff. Once we get landed, once we get everything sorted out. What else did I want to talk about today? Oh yeah. I wanted to look at some analytics with you guys. That's what I wanted to do. Analytics. You can tell what I need to do is get this a little more consistent. You can tell by looking at it where I posted videos. You see the little blips? Bloop, bloop. There was the new NetApp video. There was the A250. There was my 2020 recap. There was the FSX one that just blew the hell up and kept going for a while there. And then it just... What I've got to do is start putting out videos more frequently and more often so that these continue to go up instead of being spikes. And then it falls off again. It's got to be a more consistent cadence for me to do this kind of stuff. So if we look at the individual analytics for 2021, which is the range that we're looking at here, I mean, you guys have massively helped me get here. I mean, just the spike since the FSX video went up. You can see it going up. You can see it constantly happening, right? So all of this stuff. We had 2,200 impressions on the day that the FSX launched. And even going back to the new NetApp video back in May. Okay, so I've started setting goals for myself for 2022 already. I want to do a video a week. Starting January, we're doing a video a week. Probably before then, if I'm being honest. But we're moving across the country. Again, who knows what's going to happen in the next 2 months. We've got the holidays coming up. The parents are already planning their trip out for Christmas and New Year's. Like, it's... We'll see. Best effort. But if I look at this, one of the... Hindsight's always 2020, right? I came out with a really big idea in January and my boss approved. I said, I want to start cranking out YouTube videos. I want to spend less time in Zoom and I want to spend more time making content. And he was like, go do it. Cool. So I put out worked through January, writing up researching what I thought were big things in 2020 that happened outside of the pandemic, obviously, but specifically in tech and enterprise tech. And it was, if I remember right, it was AI and quantum mechanics. It was the cloud and RPA, robotic process automation, which is going to start feeding into things that we do at home in the consumer world as well. It's not just going to be enterprise. A lot of it already is in the home with smart home stuff, but we're going to begin to see more advanced uses of robotic processing and automation. So that was the first video. It's also where the first time I used an outside editor. And then I got, people loved it, and I had the idea that I wanted to do Linus Tech Tips for our hardware. and we tried to do one of those, and it ended up just being me doing a talking head with some B-roll over the top of it, and that was a big learning lesson. So I'm going to get to a point here that you guys will, kind of the map that I'm going to use for 2022, and all of it is lessons learned in doing all of this. And you saw it spike right there, and oh, I got a little bit more when I did the NVIDIA stuff, but still not quite there. And then another cup that was in, so March 4th, we dropped the A250 video, and then I did the teardown time lapse of the 3090, March 12th. And then look at all this time that got by. I didn't do the new NetApp video until May 19th. March 12th to May 19th. 2 months. I let 2 months go by without posting a video. And a lot of it was because I wasn't sure how to tell this story. And it was rewritten 10 times probably. I just rewrote it and rewrote it, and I wasn't happy with it. I rewrote it. I wasn't happy with it. I showed it to someone. They made some suggestions. I implemented those suggestions. I balled it up again and threw it away. I rewrote it again, and I just can't. I finally landed on a that way. And that's a lot of the part of the creative process that nobody ever sees. When you watch a highly produced video on YouTube, some of the stuff that I'm doing, or like what Harris is doing, there's so much thought that goes into the before about, okay, I want to make a video about Azure NetApp files. That's easy to put up on a Trello board. But when you have to find 2 to 4 hours to clear your head, get into a creative headspace, and actually sit down and write something, it's hard. It's hard to do that. That is, for me, that is the hardest part, is to shut my brain down, put some blinders on, and focus on what I'm doing right in front of me. Phone has to go in another room. I have to have headphones on with either a movie playing in the background or loud heavy metal music. No, I tell Esther, don't mess with me right now. I'm writing. Like, all of the distractions have to go away. And then it takes about an hour to actually get into that mode where you can get to a point where you're actually writing words. Because you got to think about Act 1, Act 2, Act 3. You got to think setup, punchline. Like, how am I going to storify this? How am I going to tell this story? How am I going to frame it all? And with a massive undertaking like the 15-minute finished video that ended up becoming the new NetApp, that's massive. That's a huge undertaking. How do I cover the entirety of the new NetApp portfolio as much as possible? And I still left some stuff out. So that's what took a long time to get that one there. Once it finally got there, though, boom. I think that even the CMO shared this one unprompted. I didn't ask for it, but it got a lot of views, and another round of it over the next few days, and a lot of traffic from that video. I mean, if you look at the difference between these numbers and these numbers, they're going up. This is fun to watch. And then I put up I made a fun parody of Boston Dynamics with Terminator music. Did I ever show you guys that one? It's a short one. I was really proud of this. Of course, it got copyright claims and all that stuff. I could never monetize something like this, but that wasn't the point. It's good times. So I put that one up as a fun gag. Took me about 5 minutes to edit it, so Oh, yeah, of course it does. Where they started messing up is when Google acquired DeepMind, I think in 2014 or 2015, and they started teaching it how to play StarCraft. What are you doing? No. Have you seen War Games? This does not end well. It's not playing tic-tac-toe. And then FSX happened. And really, the FSX announcement was very last minute. We had to get approval from AWS to even do it. And they wanted it to be on the NetApp site, but they couldn't put it on the NetApp site if it wasn't on the NetApp property. So I just said, you know what? I'll just put it on my YouTube channel. It's fine. Just don't worry about it. Which is another point we'll come back to in just a second. And ever since, it's been going gangbusters. Had the couple of live streams there, a couple more live streams, and then we did the one from earlier this week, the decision tree of cloud storage. And that was, I went Monday. Today's Friday. Monday, I went to the EBC, shot all of those, and I think I published that the next day. And this brings us to, but just as an overall review, here's the things I want to review. Thumbnails matter. I pride myself on making really good thumbnails. I like my thumbnails. But having the average, for context, a good CTR on a YouTube video is 2%. Up 2 to 7%. Anything in there is good. 7 to 10 and beyond is exceptional. You're in the top 0.1%. If you can get it into this 5% range, you're getting into the recommendation engine, right? 33% of the views on all of my videos and all of my content on YouTube throughout 2021 came from YouTube recommending my content. It's working. Yeah, CTR is click-through rate. There's 3 things that matter on getting eyes on your videos, and none of them have anything to do with the content itself. Right, if you see it, do you click it? Exactly. And beyond that, what is your average view duration? Right? Do you have a good thumbnail that people want to click on? Do you have a good title that people want to click on? And do you have, what's the third one? Watch time. Does your content keep people around? It's not necessarily about the topic, but are you an expert in said topic? And are you are you saying things, or at least telling a story that's engaging and compelling enough to keep people around? I am very proud of the click-through rate and of the 10+ minute average view duration. Very, very proud. Those 2 stats right there, those are really hard to achieve. And compared to what I've seen others get that are far larger than I am. So realistically, we can break down all of these, but I mean the reach is huge. If with 25%, what is this? Proportion of my total traffic, 25% came for the new NetApp video, 16% FSX, 11% for the A250, 6% for the 2020 trends. What is that one? Oh, I might be looking at the wrong thing here. Traffic from suggestions that appear next to or after other oh, that's at the end of the videos. Hang on. So 25% of people found my stuff via YouTube search. Show you guys a fun exercise. Oh, Neil beat me. You son of a bitch. That's kind of the point I wanted to make. What's wrong with this picture? Oh, there it is. So that's something I want to work to help fix. If we look at FSX on tap, I think I saw mine was still up there. AWS one beat me, but I mean, shit. Here's the actual presentation from AWS, and got 900 views. We've got to figure that out. It's one of my missions to help with this year. How do we have a more prominent presence on YouTube as a company? Not just regurgitating content. Okay, let's talk about 2022. The thing I want to do, I see these spikes. If I do this every week, the spikes never go down. And that's how you grow. That's how YouTube recognizes it. The performance that I'm getting from 1 to really 5 videos. I only did, like, realistically, I only did 5 videos in 2021. By the time we get up to now, I'm probably going to have anywhere from 4 to 6 more between now and the end of the year. So I'd like to hit 10 videos. And we'll see where that's going. Come January, my hope is to spend the next 2 months planning out how to continue, get a video out a week, and start sandbagging and scheduling them in advance. I have to get over that hump to the point where I'm at least 1 or 2 videos ahead of what I'm currently working on. More data protection content. Kevin, let's talk, Ninja. Come on, man. I definitely want to do more. I am obsessed as a customer with SnapMirror and SnapVault. There's no reason we can't talk about that. There's no reason. I was a very big user of SnapDrive and SMO and SME and SMSQL. I was a customer before SnapCenter was around. But all the principles still apply. All the concepts and the architecture still apply. I will talk data protection till I'm blue in the face, because it's at the core of my being. Before I ever joined the healthcare company, before I ever joined NetApp, anybody want to take a guess at what I did as a consultant? 90% of the time? DR runbooks. You'll end up in the wrong search results with too much DP content. Yeah, nope. That's not the point. It's not meant to overload it. So let's talk about 2022. Can I pull a Devin Nash here? Break out the most powerful tool in the world? (2022) video planning. Let's talk about it. Oh, see, my 12-year-old didn't put together what you were saying, Jason. I took it at face value. Yes. I do not want to end up in those search results. 1 video per week. Well, let's talk about lessons learned. Quantity. This is going to surprise a lot of you because I've been preaching the other way. Lessons learned. Quantity over quality. I have to keep momentum going on the content, the frequency of content going out. I can't sacrifice all of the other metrics for the sake of quality. And I am a renowned perfectionist. I'm my biggest critic. I hate watch everything I make. It's one of those things. Yeah, that joke went way over my head, guys. I'm in the wrong mindset. Anybody familiar with Trey Parker's favorite band? DVDA? So lessons learned, quantity over quality. That doesn't mean they're going to be shit. It means they're going to be more like the video you saw on Monday, where it's me talking head. So the other strategy is more types of videos. So the plan is we're going to have a three-pronged approach. We're going to have what I've started to dub as PR and launch companion videos that will be like the talking head FSX for OnTap style. Same way I did with the new NetApp, and basically the style that I've developed. It'll be me with a teleprompter, scripted, produced, all of that stuff. And we'll do those for any like big launch announcements, any of that kind of stuff, right? Where I want to start expanding this is I want to have architectural strategery. I'm saying that jokingly. I don't think that's a real word. Strategery conversations. So I want to take it from the B2B. Here's the megaphone. Here's this big thing. Here's why you should give a shit. That's the PR launch companion videos. I want to go down and I want to do another level, which is the whiteboard architectural conversation, like the cloud decision tree, where I'm talking to you as a department, as an organization, about how you should be thinking about things architecturally and where cloud can come into play and maybe where it shouldn't. And then the final one is we're going to be doing deep dive tech demo. On-screen capture, showing. So we're starting out with the announcement. We're going over strategy and architectural design, conceptual stuff, right? And decision processes about which you should do, options that you have in the market, etc. And then I'm going to show you exactly how the piece of tech that we're talking about works. And I want to take that formula of 3 videos, and I want to put a subject matter on top of it, such as Azure NetApp Files, the one that I'm currently working on. We're going to have the first type of video, a launch, that's going to go over the October 21 announcements of all the stuff that the ungated GA, standard networking support, AVS data stores for ANF, like all of that. Then we're going to go into a whiteboard conversation strategically about how you should work on design. So how capacity pools work, how the volumes and Active Directory integration works, how your delegated subnet goes into your VNet so that any workloads inside there can access it via that subnet, how you can do cross-region replication now, how you can do VNet peering to be able to allow workloads in other VNets to access that delegated subnet in another VNet. That's that. And then we're going to put it into practice. We're going to go into the Azure portal. We're going to lay it all out. We're going to do it in Cloud Manager as well, so you can see how the integration points work. So kind of a 1, 2, 3 punch here. And I think doing this as a package for anything that I want to talk about, instead of just one talking head announcement video, I want to expand it into 3, so that I'm not just putting out a video for 1 week of content. I'm making a video package of 3 different assets that are going to span basically a month. And sometimes that could be 4 or 5 videos if it's wide enough. So that's the idea. That's the concept. More types of videos, and that's NetApp, right? That's just NetApp stuff. Above and beyond that, I want to start doing more stuff for me. Non-NetApp stuff. We're going to be doing a whole bunch of stuff. New studio setup. Time lapse. Thing that I cannot talk about yet. Stuff. rewiring the house. Right? So all of that stuff. Like I'm not saying it's going to be a vlog, but close. I kind of want to get into a little bit of a vlog rhythm here of maybe doing some daily content, updates on the house, updates on the studio, things that I'm working on, all that stuff. At the end of the day, I went and asked for some special permission for the next 12 months, and I got it. And I am telling you guys, this year has been an amazing learning lesson. The last 2 years have been an amazing learning lesson. And I made the decision. I made the decision to retire from BWO to facilitate this. Those of you that were fans of the show, this is why. Because not only are there other conversations that I can't talk about on here happening for me personally in my career, but this is being given permission to do this was a very big ask. It was displaying a level of confidence in my abilities and trust in me to go out there and do what's best for not only myself, but for NetApp, and go out and actually be a spokesperson, a public figure of sorts. And I have sat around for the last 5 years dreaming of being a content creator as kind of my full-time job. Why am I sitting around on my ass for? Let's go. So the content's going to start getting cranked. In addition to all of this, I know I've spoken poorly of it, but it needs to happen. Every video is also going to go on datacenterdude.com. A form of the script of each video or the transcript of each video is going to go up as a blog post, right? For SEO and things of that nature. I am serious. If you guys didn't think I was serious about this before, that this was just some fun, casual hangout thing that I like to do on the side while I was busy with customer meetings, I'm serious. This is getting, we're going. So I got to get moved. The next couple of weeks are going to be hairy. I'm moving across the country for the 4th time in 10 years. That's it. No more. No. So yes, revitalize datacenterdude.com. Let me put on here daily vlog, maybe. We're going to continue to do the live stream, but I got to be honest, one of the days might fall off. We might go to a Monday, Friday schedule to facilitate more video making, because all of us sitting here on stream for 2 hours, 3 days a week doesn't get any videos made. And I've kind of come to this point where this is fun. I like doing this, but I want to use the time on stream to do fun stuff with you guys, not sit here and blabbermouth at you back and forth, right? So instead of doing this, I'd rather use the time on stream to show you guys how I'm setting up the new studio, how I'm wiring up the new racks. Oh, did I say that? I'm sorry. I'd love to show you guys how I'm gonna lay everything out. Have you guys go with me on while I'm wiring up or changing out the plates, and we go to the next room and the next room and the next room. That kind of stuff. That's what I want to use the streams for. Me sitting here as a talking head and us going over stuff is all fine and good, but I want to start making them useful, evergreen kind of content. So part of that will be changed over as we get moved and as we're going to do that stuff. But you guys have been on this journey with me for the last 2 years. It's time. It's time to shift it into 5th freaking gear. We're going. What else can we talk about over here? Engagement. That's the other thing I wanted to talk about, actually, now that I think about it. For some reason, I think I hit some kind of, I think it's 850 subscribers. I hit something in the community channel opened up. Were you guys aware of this? Did you know that there was basically forums and places that I could put gated content on as part of my YouTube channel? I had one person, one subscriber out of 870 that I guess saw this in their feed. Thanks, Drew. I have never personally used the community side of things, but I'm sitting here looking at it going, there's huge potential here. Yeah. There's huge potential here. Yeah, thanks, Drew. You're everywhere, brother, because you just know community. You know where all the different things are. You respond to various polls that show up in your feed all the time? Awesome. Okay. Gotcha. So it doesn't take you out of your kind of YouTube news feed. You just respond right there in your feed. You don't have to go to an actual post. Can I link to these posts? Yeah, I think it's right here. So what you can do, I know from doing it on BWO, you can like gate. So when the channel gets monetized and you get memberships and emojis and all the stuff that Twitch had, right? We got a little ways to go. Well, I'm not worried about that. I was really surprised and I was like, cool. I thought this was part of being a YouTube partner. The only way you got this, but it just lit up on mine. I wonder if they just made it available to everybody or what's going on. No, in your YouTube. Okay. So how do I, if I link to this, no, community, no. So you basically, so it's just the channel URL then / community, it looks like. While we're here, let's go take a look at our buddy. Oh, last time they put something up was 5 months ago. Yeah. So as part of the move and part of the focus on DCD, there's going to be some things I don't really want to talk about on stream happening. I've reached out to them several times. No response, no effort. So I'm waiting on certain things to go through. Certain things to happen. And then we get to file C&Ds and see how that process works. So, and there's really only two places it matters. One, YouTube, because they got my handle. And two, Instagram, because they got my handle. That's all I really want. They can keep using the name. I don't give a shit. I want the handle surrendered. I want the URL surrendered. Because if you go to youtube.com/datacenterdude, you'd think it would be me, right? God. And I'm never pulling that site up again. That link goes right to it. Well, it is the only post. So you'll see all of the posts. That's the link to get to the community tab with all of the posts. I don't know that you can link directly to an individual post. Yeah, I used to have a Chrome extension that would stop it from auto-playing. I hate it too, man. I apologize. The last thing I wanted to do here was ask you guys for a favor. I have a favor to ask. When I published, I don't think that's something I can control, Richard. Everybody's YouTube settings has their own autoplay settings. like autoplay the next video, autoplay. It's not a setting I control. You can do that when you embed it into a website. You can choose autoplay off as a parameter in your iframe code. But it's not something like if I go to content and I look at the video, like there's no toggle for me to just change that. Right? I try my best to leave YouTube muted so that when I do that, let's see if it works. Nope, it didn't do it. So now, if I go to YouTube and oh, doc is on, cool. And I go play a video, it's muted, right? That's the way I typically leave it muted. It was turned off yesterday because of Insight. So that's one way around it. Hey, that guy. Again, appreciate all the love on the video. Thank you, guys. I thought it turned out really good. I was scared when I was first working on it because the lighting in that room was horrible and it was all dark. So I had to bump the brightness quite a bit and it came out all right. It's not ideal, but again, 80-20, right? What did we talk about? 80% rule, quantity, crank the videos. Got to get the content out there. It doesn't have to be perfect. It has to be useful. And do a good title and a good thumbnail. But as long as the content is useful, that's what matters. There is a cookie setting, depending on what browser you're using or if you've got cookies turned off or any of that kind of stuff. There is a cookie setting that will keep YouTube in its last known state. So muted. If I go and open any other YouTube video right now, it should come up muted. Let's see. Yeah, see? So there's something that does that in your browser settings. The last favor I wanted to ask of you guys was not really to roast me, but what would you guys like to see me do more of? Is it just more videos more often? Is there anything I would love to do more externally? I have I want to do an Ask Nick series, maybe weekly, where people can submit questions via the community tab and I'll answer them. That can be anything about NetApp or anything not NetApp. What microphone do I recommend? How's my home set up like for storage? Like any of that stuff. More flowcharts. That was a great breakdown of a bunch of stuff. And yeah. Okay. And it's really, you know what? That's what I spend the most time with customers doing is strategic architectural concept design, not actual implementation anymore. I'm not a practitioner anymore, but there's a lot of wisdom and a lot of experience up here about how I would do things. Like if I were to go in and run an organization today, the first thing I would do is refactor every single application. Stop everything. Figure out how to make every single application we depend on run natively in the cloud. That's it. How, Nick, you've seen the progression of my limited content. Most of all is stuff I learned from you. Oh, thank you, man. How Nick made it. Okay. So, for example, you'd want to see how I set up the camera, the whiteboard in the EBC, took that raw capture, put that into DaVinci Resolve, slapped my intros on it, looped the audio underneath. Like, you know how to do almost all that stuff already. Collaborations and special guests. Okay. So, I wanted to start up not a podcast, but kind of the podcast format, but just live streamed on YouTube. with other luminaries in the industry. Several people, like Christina Warren, for example, have agreed to come on and do something with me. Kind of in that live, kind of like how we would do BWO, in that live podcast interview side-by-side format. You've seen Asmongold do it with Rich and the other OTK folks, and you've seen people do this. I've done a couple of them over last year. Remember, we had Rick Vanover on, we had Kirk Ryan on in the after parties when we were watching stuff last year. So that kind of thing. Me and Dooley did a couple of them. So that sort of thing. And maybe if it becomes panels, maybe if Discord ever lets stage channels have video, like there's all kinds of opportunities there with Discord. See you, Sheppy. Have a good one, man. Thanks for dropping by. It's all been Twitch streams. Yeah. Thanks, Ninja. Yeah, I do think I need to... what I don't want to do is scatter the content categories too much on the same channel. I mean, there may be a call for a second channel here at some point in the future where I take anything that's like consumer related or anything like Data Center Dude streams or something like that. I don't know. I have to think about it. You'll split your audience, but at the same time, it's going to scatter my viewership. Yeah, Jason. The workflow stuff is nice too, bro. There's too much competition. Hyper-focused on what you want. Yeah, totally. I want my niche right now to be enterprise tech. And the fun stuff can be the live streams like building PCs and things like that. If you go look at the viewership of the teardown of the 3090, as hot as that was, it's only up to about 1,100 views. That should be like 100,000 views. I mean, so my audience, they aren't watching that content. Look at the Boston Dynamics 281 versus FSX versus. So the key for me that I've figured out is aligning with launches, and what I do in between those is kind of up to me. But I'm trying to work with the comms people to make sure that I'm aware of any launches that are upcoming so that I can prepare content in advance. Yeah, there's a huge gap right now in cloud-based enterprise tech conversation, and a lot of it is coming from the hyperscalers. So they're driving the narrative, and that needs to change a little bit. I need to change. It just there need to be other voices heard, is the right way to say that. I don't think they're actively misleading anyone. That's not what I meant. I meant that there's always going to be bias there. The other thing I have to be careful of, and this is from a big conversation with legal, several conversations that I've had with legal about doing this stuff externally. When I'm not doing NetApp stuff, I can't represent myself as Nick from NetApp. So Data Center Dude, the enthusiast, is a different personality. All right. So keep that in mind. There's a lot of lines to dance here in doing this kind of stuff. It's the reason that in every video I have that's about NetApp, there's this big old guy at the bottom. Right? That's important. But if you go look at like the 2020 video, so there's a line to cross. And I agree with you, Jason. Focusing on enterprise tech, there is a limitless amount of stuff to talk about. Endless amount of stuff to talk about. There's plenty of people out there talking about consumer NAS and building PCs and all of that stuff that I'm not going to trump that at this point. I'm not going to tackle that, as I'm not going to introduce anything new. What's not happening right now, outside of 2 or 3 people in a very well-produced way, is enterprise tech strategic conversations around both launches and decision-making of how to get there, and guidance of how the products actually work. The inside knowledge that I have of how the products work is my value prop. It's what brings people back. At least that's what I've identified. I'd love to hear from you guys too. I mean, obviously the beard and hanging out with Nick is fun, but I mean, like, really, if you really think about it, what's the value of my content? And I'm the harshest. You guys can't say anything that would offend me. I'm my harshest critic. Everything I make sucks in my eyes. I know how to do it. I know how to do it in a way that can be successful. I'm surprised this hasn't really taken off more this week. Yep. We've seen Linus already start to dip his toes into enterprise stuff, and he's done it over the years, but more from an end user desktop support kind of situation, right? And he's doing stuff like Unraid in his house and home enthusiast stuff. I get all that. But talking about how to run tier 1 architecture in hybrid cloud scenarios, like, there's not many people doing that. And that's what I want to do. And doing it with doing that centered around kind of data and architecture of applications being able to access data. That's my sweet spot. Protecting that data. Like, I think that's my sweet spot. If I had to have a hub, it would be data, and then you can have applications, business continuance. Like, everything's going to branch off storage arrays, performance metrics, cloud, disaster recovery. Like, it's all of it branches off of that central hub of data. Data lakes with object storage, spanning to S3, like all of that stuff. That's my niche. That's my sweet spot. At least it's what I've identified. And the strategy of doing multiple videos per thing is what I'd like to try for the next 12 months. Let's see if we can keep it up, where we're getting, I don't know, 4 to 6 videos a month versus 5 in a year. Let's see if I can do that. Because that's what the next couple of months are going to be spent, other than moving and setting up the house and getting the studio ready and all that stuff. That's what we're coming out of the gate hot in January. So I look at it this way. I'll have 2 months plus Thanksgiving holiday time and Christmas holiday time, where I'll be able to have that 2 months to get the studio all set up and ready to rock. And then it's go time. So a lot of the content over the next couple of months are likely going to be about the new house, the new studio, setup, all of that kind of stuff. It'll be fun, right? We're going to have some fun for the next couple of months. Part of that's also going to be planning for, on my side, internally, privately, working with our comms team to see what announcements we've got coming up on a quarterly basis. What are the big things that are moving and being announced each quarter, so that I can start prepping and planning. And some of that, unfortunately, is going to have to be shielded from you guys. So I've been trying to figure out how I can share more of what I'm doing and how I'm tracking everything in Trello and other various means, because I've started to bucketize things a little bit better. But some of the stuff in there is going to be private and internal only, eyes only kind of stuff. Like one of the ones that I'm working on right now that I can't tell you guys about. That is absolutely a hard secret. So it's going to be fun. I think these next couple of months are going to be fun as we build the studio out over there. And it's going to be fun to try and be a full-time content creator. So there's a lot to do. All of this stuff. I was trying to come up with names. I might put a poll up when I come up with 3 to 5 of them. for what the live cast will be. How often are we doing it? Once a month? Every 2 weeks? Every week? I don't know. Having somebody that can wrangle guests. Are we doing 12 a year or are we doing 48 a year? Where am I going to find 48 interesting people to talk about in enterprise tech? So yeah, that's kind of part of it as well. And again, this is one-man operation. That's the other interesting part of this. We'll see how it goes. But yeah, to close out here, guys, I just want to say thank you. Before DCD Studio One signs off, it's been interesting to see this evolve. Originally, it was just this desk. And then I got a 6-foot whiteboard that I never ended up using, which we're not going to make that mistake in 2022. And then it turned into the workshop earlier this year where we put up the pegboard and redid the closet and set up the whole set and the cameras and lights set up to be able to shoot in front of the workshop. Putting in Data Center Dude's data center. That's getting an upgrade. Big time. But yeah, I really want to look back and go, wow, look at all that we've accomplished. Look at everything we've done in the last 2 years. It's pretty freaking cool. It's pretty cool. And it's only going to get bigger. That's the fun part of this whole thing. How are we doing on the membership thing? Yeah, we got a long way to go. Long way to go. We got to make a whole bunch more videos. But thank you guys. Thank you for coming on the journey with me. Thank you for the support. Thank you for hanging in the Discord. I hope you guys are enjoying it. You don't even remember who told me to come watch your stream back in February? I feel like I should know that. Might have been Jan. Jan, I don't know Jan. Do I know Jan? My mom's name is Jan. No, I'm not going to tell you her maiden name. Well, I'll say I'm glad you're here. It's been fun building the NetApp one with you. It's been fun hanging out with you for the last couple of years. Yes, she does, Richard, but you'll never find out what they're called. You'll never get me, copper. I'm never coming out, see? My first pet's name was Puppy. I'm not kidding. We had no idea what to name it. It was a stray dog that wandered up and we just called it Puppy. Would I ever put that as an answer to a security question? No. Jason, I don't know how to say thanks to you enough, man. You've been a sounding board. You've been a supporter. Just, thank you for everything. For being a mod in OJ, for being a mod in the new NetApp one, being a part of the A-team. Like you're a sounding board and support and just being able to talk to me when I needed that. Thank you, sir. Means a lot. It's been a big deal as we've gone through this whole stuff. You check me when I need it, too. Sometimes I just need to get chin checked. Jason does it. But he does it in the nicest, most British way possible. Jason, our last conversation, I really took to heart, as you might. Nothing's on fire, I promise. Our last conversation, I really took to heart and went off and thought about it. And but it's how I ultimately landed on this kind of 3-video approach. Could end up being 5 videos if there's enough content, but more. But it took that conversation plus me going to the EBC earlier this week to really land on that. When I went, oh, I could do the live demo. I've done all of these types of videos. Like, I've been doing whiteboard sessions and EBCs for a decade. I've been doing customer presentations and what is it and why you should give a shit kind of talks for a decade. And been doing live demos and EBCs with screen capture or just live. We're doing live, damn it. For a decade. All of these things I know how to do. And now that I have learned and mastered the inner workings of YouTube, it all comes together. Combine all of that stuff together, and I've got a plan that I believe in, a plan that I love going into the new year. Guys, I want you all to know there's 11 weeks till Christmas, or till the new year. 11. We're a month away from Black Friday. We're a month away from Thanksgiving here in the U.S. What is that? 8 weeks to Christmas? 9 weeks to Christmas? Like, the flowchart one was great. It was awesome to see just a few hours later from yeah. I think I posted a picture in Discord before I ever shot a frame. When was this? Monday? It doesn't show the time. Why you no show time, Discord? Yeah, here you go for you guys that didn't see it. I took this picture before. There it is, all drawn out, right? When I finally landed on the one that I wanted to use. And then I was ready to shoot it. I think I had finished shooting it, actually. Let me correct myself. I think I had just finished shooting it and stopped the recording and snapped a picture of it and showed it to Jason because we had talked about it over the weekend or the previous Friday. And this is the kind of stuff that I can just crank out. So I went in and I recorded 5 videos in an hour and a half. I know how to do this stuff. We get so wrapped around the axle about the editing and the thumbnails and the titles and the YouTube and the algorithm and the... I do this stuff all day, every day. All of us do. We all do this kind of stuff. Why are we not all out there cranking out content? It's just that kind of... It was the pep talk I had with myself as I was driving to the EBC to shoot this stuff. And shout out to Raj for letting me in the door and letting me come in and work. And turning on all the lights and all the TVs and everything for me. By the way, that's the 65-inch Surface TV there. I did ask if I could have one for the studio, and they said no. Can you imagine how cool it would be to have that as your television, but it was also a giant whiteboard that moved around? And you guys saw me moving the thing around in the video, right? It's so cool! I love it. I love that we've gotten rid of traditional whiteboards and we've got these digital ones. The other thing is you can like draw a square and grab a group and group them, and they will all move as one diagram in one image. Your mistake was asking? Yeah. It's like George says all the time, hey, ask for forgiveness, right? I'm sorry. Nobody was using them. You know, I thought I'd make use of it, you know? Oh, you guys weren't supposed to see that. You didn't really get to see it. Okay, fine. As we're getting out of here, I'll show you. All right, that's enough. I found the unicorn. But what if I told you with all the smoke, I found 2 of them? Yeah, I'm going to fill it up with Synology gear. That would be the ultimate kick in the groin, wouldn't it? No! I'm not saying anything else. Let's just say that special power circuits have been run in the house. I've already said too much. Guys, DCD Studio One is signing off. It has been probably one of the more formidable learning experiences of my life and my career. Spending the last 2 years in here building all of this out, learning how to stream, learning how to create videos, learning cameras and lights, and doing it all with you guys and all of that. I can't thank you enough. There's been hiccups. There's been all kinds of stuff. But I feel like I'm finally at a point where I can just go full throttle. And it's taken a lot. I had to shut down basically the OJ Podcast Network in March of this year. I had to retire 6 months later from BWO. I had to clear the plate. I had to clear all of the things off that were auxiliary so that I could just go full bore focus on one thing. You want to see some 6060s with the 60 disc shelves? I'll let Duncan know. Not ruling anything out at this point, nor am I disclosing what's actually going in there right now. We have to come up with a name for the new studio, and it's not going to be DCD Studio 2. Maybe DCD LV. We have to come up with a name for the venue, for the studio. We'll figure that out, though. We'll take some polls. Maybe that's a community post. I'll come up with some names on the drive next week. But, yeah. Signing off from DCD Studio One. Thank you guys so much for the last couple of years. Looking around in the room right now, I'm just... We've done a lot in here. And that not including 2 years of twice weekly episodes of Busted Wide Open and 6 months worth of 4 months worth of BWO Daily every day. Pretty awesome. It's pretty awesome what we've done. And I love you guys for being along for the ride. Thank you so much. I'll catch you guys in Discord. Otherwise, hopefully a return stream on November 8th. We'll see. Maybe some surprises along the way for some updates. Maybe when we're sitting in the hotel room, I can jump on my phone. Because you can live stream from your phone. Pretty cool. But I doubt hotel Wi-Fi would be worth a shit. We'll see. Thank you guys. Catch y'all on the flip side. Peace!